What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles' YouTube channel. Today we have the Lexington City Championship Finals. And on our left, we have Carl Shu playing the Primal Kyogre deck. And on the right, we have Jacob Hope. And it seems like Jacob took he didn't take enough cards off the opening hand. I think that's what just happened. But we know that Carl Shu is playing the Primal Kyogre deck, and we know that Jacob Hope is playing the Bronzong Lugia deck, and let's see what happens. Alrighty, so Carl starts with the Articuno, and Jacob starts with a Zora. That's what it seems like. We see a Trainer's Mail from Carl. Gonna grab Sycamore. Alrighty, so hopefully this will be a good game. Both games we saw from Jacob and from Carl, both weren't that great of starts from their opponent and or the other. They received Sycamore from Carl, discarding a bunch of stuff. But let's see what happens. Now, Carl did get a Floatstone on that Zora, which is great. And now, can Carl find a Kyogre or not? We see a DC going on a Zora, and we see a pass. And on to Jacob's turn. Let's see if Jacob will have a crazy start. We see a Floatstone, we see a Bronzor. We see Jacob looking at Articuno to see what it does. I'm not even sure what it does, but we'll find out here in a second. And we see Sycamore discarding a Lysander, a Judge, Muscle Band, and a Bronzong. I think that was everything. I might have missed something. But there we see a Lugia, a Muscle Band, and does he have a DC or not to start attacking this turn? We'll see a Sacred Ash shuffle in that Bronzong into the deck. Alrighty, so Jacob's, I think he only plays one Sacred Ash. So his one Sacred Ash is discarded. We see a Shaman drawn up to 6. He has another Zora. He has an Ultra Ball. Alrighty, and let's see, can Jacob find a DC or not? It's the big question. He has an Ultra Ball, he can discard a Sycamore and discard a Burst Seeker. Alrighty, and let's see, he'll probably get out a Shaman. He might get out a Hoopa if he has a Skyfield, but I didn't see one. I saw a Zora, a Zoroark, and 2 other cards, and there's a Shebe. Oh, maybe not. Hold on, wait for it. Yep, Shaman EX coming on down. Alrighty, now, since Carl has a Floatstone on that Zora, Jacob doesn't have to worry about a Zoroark knocking out a Lugia if there's only 5 bench Pokemon on Jacob's side of the field, because it only does 160. We see, okay, let's see, does he find the DC or not? It's the big question. He does have a Metal Energy, but I see a Hoopa. Doesn't seem like Jacob has a DCE, and he has a Metal Energy. And let's see what he decides to do. Is he going to... I imagine he'll retreat, but I'm not sure who he will retreat to. We see a energy go down to Shaman. We see retreat into the Shebe. Oh no, Shebe! That can get knocked out by Zoroark. Alrighty. No fear, Shaman. We see a water energy go down to Articuno, and we'll see Sycamore discarding a bunch of stuff. Can Carl find a... Okay, this is Zoroark, so he can take a knockout this turn. We see a Trainer's Mill. Doesn't look like Carl liked his hand. He kind of shook his head. And okay, I see a Rough Seas. That's not something he wants to get. We see a Sycamore. We see a Floatstone maybe. And Carl decides not to get anything. He must already have a supporter card in his hand if he didn't grab that Sycamore. And alrighty, we see a stand-in from the Zoroark. And we'll see Shebe get knocked out. And on to Jacob's turn. Let's see what happens. We see Zoroark. We see a Zoroark. He has a Battle Compressor as well. We see a VS Seeker. And this Battle Compressor will probably just discard all Metal Energies. There's 1. There's 2. And let's see. Okay, a Battle Compressor as well. Now, if Jacob gets down to DCE, it'll do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And that can knock out Zoroark, which is not good for Carl, because that's his only real attacker. And there's a Sycamore from Jacob. Going to use it. Discard his hand, drawn 7 new cards. Can he get a DCE or not? Or a Bronzong with an energy? There's a Bronzong, and he does have an energy. There's a Skyfield, a Lugia. He does have a DC and a Metal Energy. Let's see what he decides to do. He could put a DC on the Lugia, and then Metal Links to the other Lugia. Just start powering up the other guy on the bench. He does have 3. So, nope, he's going to put on the one he's going to send up to the active, and we'll see an Air Ball knock it out. And on to Carl's turn, let's see what happens. Alright, he has his Articuno. He does have a Kyogre now, and, let's see. I mean, either way, Carl's in trouble. Like, that Lugia is going to knock him out. I think Articuno's even weak to Metal, but they were seeing Ultra Ball, discarding a Lysander and a Water Energy. This might get out a Zora. We'll see what Carl decides to get with this Ultra Ball. Could be anything. Looks like he's eyeballing another Kyogre, just trying to get 2 outs. Not a bad idea as well. And I think that one is the promo one. I know the last episode I was trying to figure out this a promo. I think that is the promo one. And there's the regular one. Oh, or is that the regular one? I'm not sure. Alright, we see a water energy going to Kyogre, and we might see a chilling side. It doesn't really matter. Jacob has a Zoroark with a Floatstone. Let's see, what does Carl decide to do? We see a Sycamore discarding his hand, drawing 7 new cards. He does have a Rough Seas, but I doubt he wants to play that. Oh, he is going to play the Rough Seas. And Jacob's going to discard a Shaman. And we'll see, maybe, probably just a pass. I mean, he can Chilling Side if he wants to, just to flip a coin. And, oh no, Chilling Side, and automatically puts him to sleep. And oh no, his Lugia stayed asleep. There's a Bronzong coming down. So 2 Bronzongs, 2 Zoroark, and 2 Lugias are out in the field right now. We see a stand-in from the Zoroark. We see some Metal Links going on. That's a Lugia with a bunch of energies right now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 180 damage. There we go. It has 2 DCs, 3 metal, and a muscle band. And on a Carl's turn, let's see what happens. Can Jacob one-shot a Primal Kyogre? It has 240 HP. Oh man, I'm going to be shocked if it does happen. But here we see Carl bring up Kyogre. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Lysander in the water, getting out Shebe. Now, can Carl get a Link? Can he get a Primal Kyogre? And can he get a double water energy with a Mega Turbo? There we see a Trainer's Mail. He can grab the Via Seeker or the Sycamore. And let's see what he decides to get. He might not get anything, just so his hand's not clogged up. That might be the... He does have a Dive Ball in his hand already. And 2 water energies and a Shaman. Oh man, does Carl get the Via Seeker or not to guarantee him a supporter, just in case he whiffs off the Shebe? Not sure. I'm not sure what the correct call is. Let's see what Carl decides to do here. He's just waiting to see. And he does get the Via Seeker just in case. Just in case he does miss this whole play. And we see a Dive Ball getting out a Kyogre. Alrighty, I guess he just wants to increase his odds of trying to hit the Link. He needs the Link for sure. And let's see. He's got the Shaman in the hand. Let's see. And he's trying to figure out. Yep, Shebe going to draw up to 6. And nope, there's a Link. But he doesn't have the Dive Ball anymore. Oh no, Carl. Oh man, Carl's in a weird situation now. He's going to put it on the bench one instead. Water energy. And we'll see Kyogre's first attack go down. I think it does 30. And the active Pokemon is asleep. Is it 30 or 50? I'm not sure. But the Lugia stays asleep. On to Jacob's turn. We see a Skyfield coming down. We see a Sycamore. Oh no. An Ultra Ball grabbing Shebe. This will draw 6 new cards for Jacob. Can he find another DCE for this Lugia? I hope so. Oh, he has another DCE. He can put it on the Lugia as well. On the active, we see a Muscle Band. We see a Battle Compressor. He has to at least discard 1. He's going to discard a Bronzong, a Bronzor, and a Level Ball. Alrighty. And we're just waiting to see what else he's going to do. Did he attach the DCE? No, he hasn't attached the DCE yet. I hope he attaches. Oh, he's not going to attach it. Alright, so he's going to take a knockout. And on to Carl's turn, let's see what happens. Here comes a Kyogre EX. We see a Water Energy, Floatstone, Sycamore, discarding his hand, draws 7 new cards. And there's a Primal Kyogre. So he can Primal Kyogre if he wants to. I'm not sure where that gets him, though. Let's see. Oh, he does Primal Evolve. Alright, and on Jacob's turn, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that is the game. Alrighty, so I think he had 9 energies on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10? Maybe he had 10 on there? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was 10, maybe it was 9. I don't know. But on to game number 2, let's see what happens this game. I don't know. Carl didn't really do anything that game. He kind of just sat there and passed. It seems like we saw Kevin play against his deck, and both games, Kevin really didn't do anything, and hopefully Carl can do something this game so he doesn't repeat the same thing that Kevin did. Or maybe he will. I don't know. We'll see. But on game number 2, we'll see what happens. And FYI, Articuno is weak to Steel, so if Jacob wants to, he could use a Bronzong to knock out Articuno. That'd be really funny. But on game number 2, let's see what happens. They're still shuffling up here. What deck do you want to see? Once again, this is like kind of a weird rogue finals. Like, not rogue, but it's definitely like Lugia Bronzong versus Kyogre, which we never see really in Standard. But today, it's here. It's here. They're in the finals, and let's see what happens. Hopefully have a better game. We see Jacob have 2 Lugias, and we see Carl Mulligan. And alright, so Jacob's going to get another card. Maybe get out some Bronzors, maybe some Hoopa, maybe some Shaybays. Alright, Carl's shuffling up here, and let's see who will become the Lexington City Champ. Jacob is up. If you don't know, in Top Cut, it is best 2 out of 3. So they will play 3 games total, and the loser gets to decide who wants to go first or not, if he wants to go first or not. And I imagine that Carl did decide to go first, so it gives him a turn to get ready to Primal Evolve. And alrighty, so 7 cards for Carl, and let's see what happens. And another mulligan. Oh man, this happened to Kevin too. Kevin mulligan a bunch of times in top 8, and it made it where yeah, he mulliganed a bunch of times in top 8, and Jacob had a really good turn 1. I mean, Jacob always has a really good turn 1 with his deck. It's just because he plays so many Shaman, and he plays Skyfield, and he plays Hoopa. He just has so many ways to draw through his deck fairly quickly, and that's why I like this Lugia Bronzong deck. It's definitely unique, and I'm glad that Jacob's playing it here. But let's see. Alright, Carl does get a Pokemon. Let's see what happens. Jacob gets some more cards. He does have a Shaybay in his hand. He has a Trainer's Mill. He has a Lysander. There we see a Spirit Link onto the Kyogre. We see an Ultra Ball in Carl's hand. We see a Zoroark coming down. And we might see an Ultra Ball getting out a Shaybay to help draw some cards. Let's see an Ultra Ball discarding a Rough Seas. And something else. I'm not sure what that is. And Carl's going to get out the Shaman. I wonder what's under that Rough Seas. Not sure. It's definitely an Ultra Ball with the Rough Seas. But what else is it? I'm not sure. We see a Water Energy Shaybay drawing 5 cards. And no, Carl has a Sycamore with like 2 VS Seekers in his hand. He did Trainer's Mill for a Judge, and he could grab that. And this might actually help out Carl, because Jacob has like 2 extra cards in his hand, which might be, might be a big deal. We see another Trainer's Mill from Carl. And let's see, he can grab a Sycamore, a Hex Maniac. He's going to grab the Hex Maniac. I just wonder if he has a way to discard it in his hand, or will Carl go for that Sycamore? He does have a Sycamore in his hand as well. And there we see Hex Maniac, and he's actually going to opt to try to slow Jacob down with the Hex Maniac. And here we see Battle Compressor discarding 2 metals. Let's see, maybe a 3rd metal. Now, since Carl Hex Maniac Jacob, he can't do all the crazy stuff he can. He usually does turn 1. He discards the Sycamore as well. Usually Jacob plays like 30 Shaman down, that's what it seems like, and draws through like half his deck. We see an Ultra Ball coming down for Jacob, and he's going to discard double for Lysander. Alrighty, just going to chunk away $100. How much is Lysander's? We'll just say they're $100. I think that's a golden Ultra Ball as well. Look at Jacob. I'm so proud of him. He has all blinged out deck. He has golden Trainer's Mill, golden Ultra Balls, full art cards. He is just ready to go. There is a Bronzor coming down, so that way he can get a Bronzong out turn 2. You also need a Zora as well to help get a Zoroark turn 2. We see another Trainer's Mill. Can he find a Level Ball? There's a Muscle Man going down to Lugia. Alrighty. And if he gets a DCE, this Lugia will do 20, 40, 60, 80 damage. We see a VS Seeker. Going to grab a Sycamore. Going to put that into his hand. And we'll see Sycamore discarding a Lysander and a Bronzong. Alrighty. And can Jacob find a Zora or not? There's another Bronzor coming down. Oh, he keeps not drawing enough cards. We see a DC going on to the active. We see a Battle Compressor. I think the extra card he forgot to draw into was a DCE. But there we see Double Metal Energy being discarded. And let's see. What else will Jacob discard? Maybe another supporter card. A Judge, maybe? Nope, a Battle Compressor. Going to discard all his Battle Compressors out of his deck. And let's see. Okay, he's kind of how many metals in the discard pile. There's 4 in there. I think he plays 5 in his deck. And there is a Arrow Ball doing 180 damage. And there we see a double Alpha Growth. We see a Primal Kyogre. We see a Sycamore discarding his hand, draws 7 new cards. And can Carl get a Water Energy in the discard pile and use a Mega Turbo or not to attack turn 2? That is the big question. And let's see, Carl does have a Trainer's Mill. He's going to grab a VS Seeker for the following turn. He really needs a Floatstone, because what he can do is float or stand in and retreat to somebody, maybe. We see a Rough Sea is going to heal that 30 damage off the Kyogre. And we see a Zoroark coming in. And let's see, does Carl just leave the Zoroark in the active spot, just let it get knocked out? And yeah, that's what he's going to do. We see a Bronzong come down. And let's see what Jacob decides to do here. Now, we see a Lysander. Going to VS Seeker for Lysander. bring up Shebe. We see a DC going on to active. We see Shaman drawn up to 6. And what Jacob can do is Deep Hurricane and knock out the Shaman and also discard the Stadium card. We see another Bronzong coming out. And we might see double Metalings going down into this bench, Lugia. And Jacob does have another Ultra Ball. This could get out another Shaman. Oh, going to get a Zora. And there we see Hoopa. Alright, going to get down a Lugia, a Shaman, and that's it. And Jacob's turn. He is going crazy right now. Watch out, guys. Jacob's going really fast right now. There's a Lugia. There's a Shebe. Going to draw. He has 6 cards in his hand. And let's see what he gets off these 6. He gets another Trainer's Mail. He gets an Ultra Ball, Muscle Band, Floatstone to Zora. Maybe there's not an Ultra Ball in there. Maybe I'm seeing things. We see a Trainer's Mail. He can grab another Floatstone if he wants to. Or, let's see. Let's see what he decides to get. He's debating. He has okay, another Muscle Band going down to the Lugia. And we will see a Deep Hurricane. This will, like I said, knock out the Shaman. We see, Jacob's rearranging his board state a little bit. And we will see double Metalinks, like I said, going down to one of the Lugias on the bench. And, alrighty, let's see. Deep Hurricane will knock it out, like I said. 2 energy going down to Lugia. And we'll see a Deep Hurricane knocking out the Shaman and discarding the other Shamans while discarding his Skyfield. Now on to Carl Stern. Let's see what happens. Oh, and Jacob also discarded that Hoopa as well. So that's a cool little play with Deep Hurricane. That can always happen. You discard your Shamans and your Hoopas. And on to Carl Stern, he gets a Dive Ball. He gets a Primal Kyogre. And we might finally start seeing some Tidal Storm. Alright, so that's what we came here to see. We came to see some Tidal Storms. And can Jacob knock out this big old Primal Kyogre or not? It does have 60 damage on the... I'm not sure what that is. Is that a 3? It might be a 3. Yeah, 20, 40, 60. Yeah, it should be a 3. Yeah, it should be a 3 because he hit him with the Arrow Ball for 60. Then he used Rough Seas to hit down to 30. Alrighty, we see a VS Seeker. What was it, 80? Not sure. But we see a Sycamore discarding a Kyogre and a Water Energy. And, I don't know. Why did he discard a Water Energy? Okay, he has one. Okay, that's good. I was going to be nervous if he missed one. Maybe he... Not sure why he discarded one. But here we see a Tidal Storm do 150 and put a 30 damage onto both of the bench Lugias. Alrighty. So, Carl, he's finally getting what he wants. And, yeah... Hold on a second. I just want to know what that is in the active. It looks like a 3. But I feel like it should be a... like a 5. Maybe it is a 5. Hopefully it's a 5. I can't really tell. It's bad quality from here. It should be a 5. But there's the Tidal Storm. He's actually going to put the 2 water onto Zoroark. That's really strange. I would think you would have put on the active. But here we see Jacob trying to figure out, can he knock out this Primal Kyogre or not with this Arrow Ball. Oh my goodness. He has right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's doing 140 right now. He does have a DC in his hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 180. If there's a 5 on there, it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, he'll be 1 off. Well, let's see what happens. I'm not sure. He'd level ball for something. I missed it, though. I missed it. Jacob's shuffling his discard pile. Wonder, okay, I don't know what's going on. Jacob's looking through his discard pile. And he's just looking to see what's all in there. Can Jacob knock out this Primal Kyogre or not? Like I said, he does have a DC. We'll see it going into the active. You can see it stand in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a Metal Energy going to the active. 1 there. And this should knock it out if I did the math correctly. Yeah. And Arrow Ball will knock out a Primal Kyogre. Oh my goodness. Alright. On to Carl Stern. Let's see what Carl does. Now, he can Mind Jack knocking out this Lugia, but, I mean, I wish Carl would have put the energies on the bench Kyogre. Maybe Carl's hand is really bad, and that's why he decided not to put the energy on that. And we see a Lysander bringing it to Lugia with a lot of energies, and we'll see a Mind Jack knocking it out. And on to Jacob's turn, he'll set up the Zoroark. And let's see what happens now. Let's see, does Jacob have... if he would have Tidal Storm this turn, he could have lost. So maybe that's why he opted not to do that. Now, can Jacob knock out this Kyogre or not? He's doing some math right now. Can he do enough? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a Skyfield. He can do up to 200 right now. He needs another DCE, and that would be a knockout. Can he get the DC or not? 1, 2... Oh, but he judged. He judged. Never mind. He can't win this turn. All right. So we see a judge putting both players at 4 cards. Now Carl can still win next turn. He'll need 2 waters, 2 mega turbos, probably a shaman. Well, if he has, no, yeah, he needs a shaman in there. A Lysander. We see a Zoroark coming out from Jacob. And let's see, does Carl have a miracle turn or not? We see a Sacred Ash from Jacob. Gonna get back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 3 Shamans, a Hoopa, and a Lugia. Alrighty. And let's see what happens. We'll see. It looks like an Ultra Ball. Maybe not an Ultra Ball. I'm not sure what that was. Oh, Pokemon came out. But let's see. I mean, Jacob can knock out the Zoroark for sure. It looks like Jacob's looking through his discard pile to see what's all in there. Alright, if I'm Jacob, I'm going to put, I think I just put the energies on the Lugia and just hope that Carl doesn't have everything he needs to win the game next turn. He's going to sit at this Lugia, and let's see what happens. That Arrow Ball will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, how much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 220 maybe? And on to Carl's turn. Alright, I think I missed some stuff, but let's see, can Carl get the knockout? We see a Sycamore. Like I said, he needs double water energy, a Lysander, double Mega Turbo. Does he have that or not? We see an Ultra Ball, discarding a Zoroark and something else. Does Carl have a Shaman in the deck or not? Nope, that's an Articuno. That's not a Shaybabe. It's not looking good for Carl. Oh man, I mean, this Lugia, it's very scary right now. We see a Sycamore discarding his hand, draws 7 new cards. And let's see what Carl decides to do. He might just pass. He doesn't really need to attach any energies to this active because it can get knocked out fairly easy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 200 damage total. Somebody put out 4 damage counter, or 4 5-sided dice. Is that what that is? I think that's what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can Jacob one-shot this Primal Kyogre next turn? There we see a Rough Seas. Discarding the Skyfield. That might make it a little bit harder for Jacob to take a knockout next turn. We see a Professor Letter from Carl getting out 2 waters. Now, if Jacob cannot knock out this Primal Kyogre, then Carl might be able to win next turn. All he has to do is power up this Kyogre, Lysander the Lugia, and he can win the game next turn. Carl will probably just pass. I don't see any point attaching any energies. It just makes it easier where Primal Kyogre can knock you out. There's an Energy Vote, getting 2 more water energies. And let's see what Carl decides. Yep, just passed it on Jacob's turn. Let's see what happens. There is something, I'm not sure what's going on. I think the DCE that he needs is in the discard pile, or in the prize cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, yeah, if he has a DCE or another energy, he can win the game right now. Let's see, what does Jacob decide to do? He's going to Sycamore, maybe? Yep, Sycamore discarding his hand, draws 7 new cards. Does he get a DC or an energy? There's a Flowstone going out of Bronzong. Let's see what's going to happen. Does he have a DCE? I think he needs a DCE, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 200 damage. That's 220 with the metal energy. He needs 1 more energy. And, 220. That's not a knockout. On to Carl's turn. Can he get it this turn? And Carl concedes the game. He knows he can't win. He didn't get what he needed off the top deck. He needed that Mega Turbo. Jacob Hope becomes the Lexington City champion with his Lugia Bronzong deck. He does take out 2 Primal Kyogres, which is probably his worst matchup. But both games, Carl did not get set up. It was just not good for Carl. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. You saw the power of Lugia Bronzong for sure. But thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Alrighty, bye.